Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, we're going to do a Valentine's Day read for people in a relationship or a situationship or something. We're just going to see what the heck pops up. Let's be honest, if you're in a healthy, like, stable-ish kind of relationship, you're not coming to anybody for it. So, let's see what's happening with the couples for Valentine's Day. Collective coupling on this tumultuous day. Alright, let's see what we got coming in hot. Not a bad idea trying to keep it bottled. 3 of Earth. Okay. Alright, we'll start with this and see where we go. Alright, Ace of Earth. Possibilities, opportunities, sovereignty of air in reverse. I posted on social media earlier this morning, hold thy tongue, darling. Hold thy tongue, because your opportunity to cut a bitch is coming in hot today. Okay. All right. Curiosity of air in reverse. That is also a mental card of unpleasantness. The Chariot. Yep. Don't move forward. And generosity of earth. Okay, that's the Queen of Pentacles. So, okay. You're in a state of mental fogginess, and that's kind of the energies that are planetarily hitting the collective right now. Chariot not moving forward, and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which could signify greed or too overly dependent or overly independent, other way around. So not healthy interdependence, if you know what I mean. And there's an energetic pattern here where there's opportunities to slay. I'm not seeing the king and queen here, the pentacles and the swords. They're not good communicators. They don't see the world different in the same way. They're both in the reverse, which is toxic mode. Okay, let's see what's at the bottom. Oh, jeez, the mage, black magic. Try some white magic sex. See, if we're talking about Valentine's Day, or put a dent in the Scorpio Nation and to have sex in February. Curiosity of Earth. That's Page of Earth. The 2 of Air. Okay, so not even wanting to make a decision. Maybe you don't even want to look at it. And the 8 of Fire. Messages. Okay. Easy with the messages today. Let's be kind to one another, even though we might be having a rough time of it. This does a lot of upside downish, with the exception of the Ace of Earth and the 8 of Fire. So, I would suggest, looking at this energy, you go with things that are new coming in. New opportunities, new thoughts, new values, new ways to grow things, how to focus your energies on flourishing. Okay? Or, just take a time out and go play in some dirt. Maybe that's what you need to do. I don't know. Either way, those messages just need to a little bit. Make it about growth and progress and a value structure that both of you can come together and support. because at the moment you're not even speaking the same logos. Long wash. This right here has me a little concerned as a possible toxic bond rather than a healthy one. You need to keep that in the forefront here. So if you are being controlled, manipulated, abused, lied to, all of this goes under the abuse mode. But now might be your time to send out messages to other people and resources on how you untangle from this. That's one narrative. It's not the narrative. I'm just trying to pick the alleyways I can see through to here. Because this is not... Both people in this situation are in toxic mode. They're in reverse, which means they are not bringing their best, true, authentic selves to the table, because somewhere along the way, one or both parties stepped into the mode of fear and protection and rebuttal, okay? And now both parties are in it. So when both parties are in toxic mode, can't speak appropriately to each other, you're going to need to bring in other people to probably support whichever party you are here. Probably getting the F out of Dodge here. Not gonna sugarcoat this one. Like, if you can't communicate, how are you going to proceed with a relationship? So you have one pentacle in common here, and I can't tell you what that is. So just keep that in mind. And maybe try to gain some mental clarity. Get some meditation going, some space, time, release. Get yourself some self-love, attentiveness. Try to take whatever that toxicity that's weaving through you right now and put it into something creative. I just talked to the single crowd about that, where you're going into healing mode. Bring that pain, that trauma, that whatever to the surface and incorporate it into a piece of art, whether it's music, writing, drawing, painting, dancing, singing, whatever it is for you that gets your creativity out and helps you process the emotions, energy in motion. Okay, so meditate and then move the body. Whether it be, moving the body this way through art, singing it out, dancing it out, however that speaks for you. All right, let's get a Queen Mob. All right, collective couples. What do we need? What's the best advice for collective couples right now? Thou art a witch. Beauteous Freedom. Ooh. Now, this doesn't mean like you have to break up with somebody. If this isn't, your narrative and you have this thing in common, and all of a sudden, because of the energies coming in today, you're like at each other's throat, which usually happens on Valentine's Day because it's not good planetary alignments for whatever reason. And if you knew the person that this day was based off of, you'd be like, maybe let's not. So, I mean, what they did to that man was freaking horrific. We don't need that bad juju in this video. We're gonna freaking get to the solution. Okay. So, all part of the grand plan to keep us separated, ignorant, and at each other's throats. Conquer after you divide. Because if you're not dividing, there is no conquering. Dun da da. Dun da dun da da. Okay. Love you, collective. In a relationship, 20 and 23. Work your magic. You need fear no one and nothing. You have the power to transform this situation into one that pleases you. Ta-da! When the witch goddess Circe discovered her magic, she began to fashion her world according to her will. While she was only one goddess among many distinguished divinities, she was cunning and resourceful. She always found a way to work with what she knew and what she had to protect and emerge victorious. Even when she tangled with the wildest humans and the most powerful goddesses and gods, for centuries witches were feared and loathed more than we were respected or esteemed. So you may believe that if you were to unapologetically exert your power and influence, you would be seen as unattractive, unlikable, or even evil. You might fear that people will whisper behind your back or shun you, or that you will end up alone and lonely. Maybe this paradigm has become so entrenched that you have willfully denied or unknowingly suppressed your power out of fear. Well, no more. You are the authority in your world. So what would you like to experience? In what ways would you like to feel freer? In what relationships would you like to shift the balance of power? Circe transformed a rival nymph into a sea monster and a crew of trespassing sailors into a drove of pigs. When she was banished to an island, she made it into her idyllic domain. Her transformations may not be as dramatic. Your transformations may not be as dramatic. But if someone currently appears to be a rival, a trespasser, or a tyrant, or to otherwise stand between you and your desired reality, transform their role. A rival, trespasser, or tyrant can only become any number of things: a friendly ally, a peer, subordinate, or simply someone from your past whom you never need to worry about or interact with ever again. Once you determine how you would like to transform a relationship or another aspect of your world, relax, breathe consciously, clear your mind, and come into a present moment. And when you feel ready, listen to the clear inner guidance that bubbles up from beneath. You may feel guided to seek out and perform a spell or ritual to change how you perceive or approach the situation, to ask for a specific variety of help or support, or to embody your power while clearly visualizing your ideal success. Or you might feel compelled to do all of these things. You have an abundance of transformational wisdom and power available to you. Access it now. So oftentimes when we are doing rituals, which you do them, laundry is a ritual, dishes are rituals, cooking is a ritual. There's a lot of rituals that we just ignore. We can transform those into powerhouses if we set our intent into them. So why not get creative and use that symbology of plants, planets, people, crystals, all that good stuff, and incorporate it into developing the reality you want to live in and transforming the relationships that are holding you back or might be trying to reveal a catalyst within you that's supposed to come out, and then set it free, whatever you're supposed to be doing here. But use your intuitive powers. That's part of being a quote-unquote witch, which is, in the etymology term, a wise woman. But the feminine runs through all beings. It doesn't say, well, you have this particular genitalia, so it runs through everyone. All creatures, all beings. It runs through everyone. There's yin and yang to everything and every being. There just is. That's the way it's always been. So even though this feels like a female thing that I'm running here, it's not. It's just, this is the mode we're in right now. This is the dark feminine rising. And so I'm just assisting that process. I don't care what you have between your legs. That's none of my business. This is the energy that's coming. This is what I'm reading. That's it. That's all. Okay? Okay. So 23. Beauteous Freedom. Admit your feelings. Be yourself. Find your path. Beauteous freedom is on the horizon for you. But in some significant way, you are not quite free. Not yet. You have been running from something, a deep pain that you don't want to feel, or haven't had the time or space to safely feel in the past. Or you have been so focused on succeeding or striving that you have been ignoring the wild spirit that absolutely is vital to who you are. In some cases, you may be experiencing an addiction. That addiction may have been born out of a desire for freedom, but now it only serves to keep you captive to its demands. In other cases, you may have blocked your own creativity, desires, and sense of adventure. You may have been limiting your food intake in a harsh manner, judging or denying your sexuality and sexual desires, or refusing to allow yourself any relaxation, playfulness, wildness, or fun. Maybe you have an idea about what it means to be a good person, and that idea does not include your natural irreverence, wanderlust, curiosity, or rebellious spirit. But you need not live this way any longer. Now is the time to get honest about how you are perpetuating your own personal imprisonment, and then make changes that will free you. Step out of your self-imposed confinement. Question your ideas about what it means to be bad or good. Where did they come from? Are they realistic? And how are they keeping you enslaved? Another way I like to put the bad good thing is to shift it into the mindset of fear or love. Those are two very different energetic patterns, but they're so clear and concise that there's no confusing, well, this is good and this is bad because society says so. This feels like fear, this feels like love. If you're stepping into a place of love and bringing it forward, that's your authenticity. Now, if you feel fear because it's new and you've been told that it's bad or wrong to step into authentic power, then you will feel fear. But you can choose love instead of stepping into the fear and then move forward with love, even though fear is gnawing at your ankles. So that's a different way to look at it. Register when you're in fear and how you respond to the fear that bubbles up. Do you cower? Do you get angry? Do you sometimes kind of shut down, or do you run away from it entirely? Do you just leave the situation? What happens when you get into fear? And how can you face that fear in a brave manner that sets your authentic love into motion, into emotion, right? Okay. Everyone is mean sometimes. Everyone is greedy, jealous, awkward, and petty. Everyone sometimes feels worried and alone. Everyone occasionally wants something they can't have. And everyone often wants things they can have that won't hurt anyone for them to enjoy. Release all shame about sharing in these universal human experiences. Stop trying to rise above them, ignore them, or use them as reasons to emotionally isolate yourself, elevate yourself, or deny yourself love. Your beauteous freedom is a fundamental part of you, and it is accessible to you now. Tap into the energy of freedom and allow it to guide you in finding your way back to yourself. All right, collective. Where are we at? Okay. That one keeps popping up. So we're going to read that one. It's the number 33. When I shuffled after Pisces, that flew out. So we're going to read it. Access the infinite. Dissolve into oneness. Even when your present human body perishes and dissolves into dust, your eternal soul will survive. The radiant light that carries you through dimensions and lifetimes is indestructible. It is beyond the very fabric of time and space. It was never born, and it will never die. The same is true for all sentient beings. All are one with the one. Identify now with your true eternal self rather than your illusionary, transient, temporary self. Draw upon the power of your soul's infinite life. Transcend limitation and find peace by remembering who you really are. If a loved one is no longer in the physical form for you, or if a loved one is about to transition out of this realm into the next, connect with that loved one's eternal self. Know in your heart that you will not be separated because you never were and never could be. You are as inextricably connected as rays of sunlight or waves on the sea. The convincing appearance of your mortality means you are destined to suffer and grieve. This is what it means to be incarnated into form. No matter how hard you try, you will feel the pain of your seeming separation. But the more you identify with your infinite nature, your soul's pure light, that is one with the divine light, the more freedom, wisdom, and comfort and power you will find. Learn to live on both levels, finite and the eternal. It is like watching a play. The world of the play has its own relative reality, its plot, its setting, and its characters, in which you choose to invest for your own temporary enjoyment. But simultaneously, your reality is larger, more real, and more inclusive than the play. You care about what happens in the drama, but you know it is only for a limited number of acts. And once these acts are complete, the lights will come up and the world of the play will fade. Employ the same dynamic in your fleeting mortal life. Be invested in the character you are playing and the friends, lovers, and foes that surround you in your earthly revels. But do not be so invested that you don't know all the while that these revels most certainly will end. The thin air, the pure light, the infinite being into which the actors melt is the divine mind, which you and I and everyone and everything are one. There will come a day in the infinite realm when we will leave not a rack behind, but we will not truly be gone. We will be what we always were, infinite. All right, collective relationships. Till next time, keep your flame.